Bring your cup and take a seat. Fill it up, coffee, wine, or tea. Come find what you're looking for. A good pour.
Welcome back to A Good Pour. I am Kathryn Good, your host. Today we have another exciting episode with one of our Good Circle marketing interns. Alyssa is here. Alyssa, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Trias, and I'm from Liberty Creek.
Alyssa chose Kimfetti, which we all know and love Kim Baker. This is her third time on the podcast.
I feel honored.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to start, although, this can't be a permanent fixture, but we need to have like a repeat guest.
Ooh, like wall
plaque or something that I can
Mm-hmm.
take out of this space. Anyway, but you are fully representing Kimfetti, which we're going to talk about today. But before we do that, just a reminder that Good Circle Marketing has interns. We had 4 this year, and they choose good work projects, which are nonprofits or small businesses in our community. Small businesses, they have to be a new startup, and they work through a full marketing machine, which is our marketing strategy. They get to know the business, they recommend marketing strategies, and then they will be building a custom GPT to help Kim and her team implement that marketing strategy on an ongoing basis. So, Alyssa, let's start with, why did you apply to be a Good Work intern or a Good Circle marketing intern?
Well, I've always been interested in business for a majority of my life. I have a fascination for it and owning my own business. And I had a couple friends that was in your internship program last year, and they loved your internship program, especially the marketing aspect. And I've always been interested in marketing because I think that's a skill that you need to have in any type of business that you're in, is to have some sort of skill in marketing and understanding of it. So I just thought it'd be interesting to be a part of your internship and learn some things about marketing, especially since I was clueless at the very beginning of it.
So I loved having you as a part of this program because most of the students that come through have DECA experience, right? Yeah. And so, Liberty Creek has a DECA program, but it's pretty new, as is the school. And so you came in pretty fresh, right? And so you had not done a full strategy like this before. This was new for you.
Oh, completely. Yeah. It was a completely new thing.
So Kim, why did you apply to be a Good Work project?
Well, we applied because we officially launched Kimfetti. The store opened in October, so we were brand new and needed help. And I know about marketing. I know about developing marketing plans specific to an entity or an event or a program. That's what we do all the time. We help businesses market themselves. But I really wanted to make sure I was able to separate my Kimfetti voice from my chamber voice and really help Kimfetti develop a full brand identity of its own. And so I knew I needed help to really help me get outside my own head, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So why did you pick Kimfetti?
Just because, you suggested it to me because of personality, and I'm so glad I ended up choosing it.
She's perfect.
Because Kimfetti is definitely, I feel like, embodies my personality as a whole. It's very cheerful. It's welcoming. It wants to make everybody's lives better a day by day. Whoever has a party with Kimfetti, that's like their end goal, is to make their life better and feel seen and loved. And that's my end goal in everyday life. Whenever I talk to somebody, is what I want somebody to feel seen and loved. So that's why I ended up choosing Kimfetti.
It was a perfect match.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, for sure.
I did. I was like, this is a perfect match. So how's business going, Kim?
It's going well. So just celebrated 3 months. Of course, we were in the honeymoon season during the perfect time for a retail business. So we'll see what it's like as we head into winter. But we have done almost 10 parties within our first 3 months of business. Great. We're already booking parties through first quarter of 2026. So we're excited to see what this year has in store.
Yeah. And you're getting kind of a name or reputation as being the pink store. Yes, so I feel like
that is the pink store. So I was really happy when Alyssa came in pink. Yes. And it's really fun to be inside the store and watch people walk by of all ages, but specifically like our target audience, which I would say is for parties, it's like that 7 to 12-year-old window, like the little girls and tweens, I guess, if we want to call them that. And I hate calling them that. But that is what we're supposed to call them, I think. And so when I see their excitement and say, Mom, I want to go in, or you see the mom say, let's go in. And so that has been really fun to watch. But yes, it's the pink store. People have called it that. people have said it's the fun store.
Oh, I love that.
I called it the party store. A lot of people have said it has such a good vibe, or it makes me feel good when I walk in. A lot of people have complimented our scents because I know we went back and forth when we opened. We're like, do we want it to smell like birthday cake or like an orange creamsicle?
Yeah.
Okay, how are you doing that? Is that like one of those diffusers?
Diffuser.
Okay.
That's been really fun to give us like a signature scent. And so we went with orange creamsicle because not everybody likes cake, I don't think. But I think the orange scent mixed with that vanilla scent. And then we did something Christmassy, of course, for the holiday season. But people compliment the color, the feel, and the smell. So who knew?
That's so great.
So this has been a long-term dream. We've talked a little bit about it, but just kind of recap, like what got you here?
Yeah. So I've always loved to host. I really think that's just a way for us to love on other people and to make them feel special, kind of like what you said. And so I grew up in a home where, I'm an only child. And so I was always celebrated around my birthdays really big. They were always a big deal. And I remember planning parties alongside my mom for me, for my celebrations, but always with the guest in mind. Like, what is the guest experience? Like, what will they get? What will we do to entertain them and help them enjoy their time? So that hospitality was just really ingrained in me. My grandmother is the epitome of a Southern belle, and my dad was a very over-the-top eccentric person. And so hosting and just making other people feel special and loved was just always something I was exposed to. When my husband and I started dating, he came with a 2.5-year-old, and I quickly found a lot of joy in throwing him birthday parties when Hayden was little. He's 19 now. And it was the joke with all of our friends, like his kid friends, their parents were like, can I pay you to plan our parties? And I was like, yeah, okay. And I did a few parties for free. And then finally Ryan was like, I think you should charge. You should charge people to do parties. And so I did. And so before I was at the chamber, I did a lot of that. I did party styling, event planning, a lot of details for parties, primarily children's parties, some showers and other corporate events. And then I stumbled into my work here at the chamber, and I still get to do event planning and get to do all of the details, but it's in like small spurts. Yeah. And it's very programmed and in line with what we do. And so sometimes my creativity is limited to a particular season or the parameters of a program or event that we do. So there was just this pull inside me that kind of felt like I was missing some of that. And I find a lot of joy when we do an event or a birthday party at our own home, or when I get to work along somebody and do that. And then it was kind of over. And I was like, wait a second. So when I found out that Earth First, the business that was previously in the location we're in now, was relocating, they came to me and they talked about expanding and moving into a space with 2 parcels. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And because of what I do at the chamber, I get to have those conversations with businesses all the time that would come in on their best days, tell me about their dreams, and then I watch them and help them turn them into reality. And sometimes I'd be kind of sad at the end. I'm like, man, I'm not doing what I really want to do. And I love what I do at the chamber. But I was like, I still have a dream. And so after that, I went by and I kind of peeked in the window at their location, and I kind of walked in there and looked at it. And then I found out that it leased. And I was like, okay, that's not the time. Went on a trip over the summer with some friends. And I think when we go on those trips, and you'll know when you get older, when you visit your friends that you've known your whole life, you'll kind of talk about your dreams and your goals and your wishes and what you're achieving and what you're not. And we had some of those deep conversations. And I came back from that trip and I was like, I think I want to do that. Yeah. So I went by the business, looked in that store again, and the for lease sign was back in the window. And I was like, what are the odds? Yeah. So I called the property owner, and he was like, yeah, their lease fell through. And I was like, really? And so I went and I visited it. And then I visited it the next day. And then I visited the third day, and we're sitting on the little stage that's inside the building at 142 North Water. And he said, I got to tell you, Kim, there's a couple coming from Nashville tomorrow, and they're going to sign the lease. And I said, give me the lease. And I remember Ryan was sitting there kind of like, uh-oh. But he said those words. I was like, we're not having anybody else from outside Gallatin come in here and do this. And so I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. Which we welcome people from all communities to come to Gallatin. But that was it for me. I was like, nope. And so we did it. So we signed the lease on the building back in, I guess July, and got the keys then. And so we took a little time to make it our own, a lot of paint. I don't think Ryan Baker wants to see any paint again anytime soon. We've painted furniture, walls, all sorts of things.
But it is so bright. I mean, and you
so great.
you
Yeah.
built that culture from the ground up.
So if you walk in the hallway, it's not super well lit, but we do have a hallway that runs parallel to the main retail space, and the walls glitter.
Oh, I don't know that I've seen that.
Should go look.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So, Alyssa, tell me what you learned about marketing through this.
I learned that marketing, you have to consider every single group that's a part of it. It's not just something that you see on a TV screen. It's just like, it's what you want to cater to every single group, and like what's the little things that you want to include that will really capture somebody's attention. You don't have to just, I don't, like, for example, for Kimfetti, at the beginning, I only thought of the little kids, but then you have to think about the moms, you have to think about the dads, the grandparents, the aunts, everybody. You have to think about everybody that's included, not just the little kids that's having the party.
Well, and Kim has the party, somebody that's going to book a party, but also someone who's going to shop, right? And so
you have both. You have
there's lots of different audience
and the retail experience. Yeah. So I kind of realized that you have to include every aspect of the business when you're talking about the marketing. It's not just something that you see on a TV. It's not just an ad. It's how do you grasp the person that you want to come shop at your store, have a party at your store? How do you grasp their attention and get them in a hold? And then also, how do you get them to spread, like have word of mouth to other people after that? Like, I realized that marketing isn't just reaching one person either. It's reaching everybody. And like, how do you reach out one person and get them to talk to everybody else and spread word about your business? I learned that. Yeah. That was one major thing to learn.
So Kim, you do know a lot about marketing. You also know a lot about branding and the experience. And because this was your dream, I loved that you brought, somebody else in and you used a student, which I think goes to your heart too. But it's been really fun to see you and Ryan and Anlin Graham do this really together. Like it's a startup. You all have other jobs. Anlin is in school, it's clearly she's not doing it by herself, but like talk about kind of that family background. Cause I think it's a lot of part of the foundation too.
Yeah. I will say first, a lot of people are like, how are y'all doing that? Like I would, I don't think I could be in the same space for this long, but Ryan and I have actually always worked together. We met working together. I was a bartender. He was a cook. And so we shared space in the workspace for a long time. And then even though we work for different organizations now, what we do often overlaps. So we're really used to working together. That's how we started our relationship as coworkers. And so it really works well for us. I don't know that everybody can share space with their partner or somebody that they live with all the time. But that's been really fun for us to get to do this. And he's a numbers guy. So that
he was like, open the doors, open the door.
Yeah. No, we got to open. I'm like, no, we're not ready. And, that's been challenging, because, we have to, figure out what our customers want. And so you have to stock different products but also stay within a budget, even though you don't really have any money yet. And so figuring all of that out, but really balancing on each other's strengths. And so I'm very much the visionary. I can cast a vision. I need people to come alongside with me and make it happen. I do that in my regular job too. I can't do it all alone. But I think knowing your strengths when you're running a business like this is really important, and then bringing people alongside you to help fill in those gaps. And so Ryan is really great at numbers. He's really good at operations systems. Like he's put all of those little procedure things together, working on a procedure guide already. And I'm like, okay, for our non-existent employees, great. We need this. But I mean, it is something we need. Mm-hmm. And so that's been fun, to work together on that. And then Anlin has been really great. Anlin's 8.5, by the way. And so getting to see her shine and have her influence in this space, because she is our target audience for the party side of things. So, hey, Anlin, what do you think we should have? And letting her review our packages and tell us what you need. I mean, that's really what you want, right? How are we going to market to kids if we're not talking to them?
Kids, yeah.
And then she also is fully trained on our POS.
She is.
She can do sales. And, actually, we're in the thick of soft plug for Girl Scout cookies. I have my cookie earrings on today. Cool. Yeah. And so because she started selling cookies when she was 5, her cash handling skills are exceptional. I would argue that they're probably better than some adults that don't regularly handle cash. So she knows how to count money, count change. She knows how to do credit card transactions. She actually trained Ryan and 2 other folks in our family on how to use the POS. So she knows how to do all of that. Yes. She knows how to label. She knows how to inventory. And so, but those are important skills. Like you said, you know, marketing and like, but cash handling, learning how to operate technology like that, learning how to navigate an inventory, no matter where you go. I mean, we do inventory here at the chamber. Like we inventoried envelopes today, you know, just little things like that are valuable life skills that I'm really happy that we get to do that together. It is a lot. There's a lot of sacrifice because she recognizes that we've given up some of our family time, right? And so now some of our family time might be like on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon at the store, you know, painting a wall or cleaning baseboards or working, stocking. Yes, actually working, but we get to do it together and that's really fun. And she's taken a lot of pride and ownership in her store. And she is really proud of that. And she also is really great. You know, if I'm in the back doing something and she sees a customer come in, she's like, hi, welcome in, and goes straight to the counter and talks to them and knows. And when we were running sales around the holidays, she knows how to rattle off our sales, how to apply discounts. So that's important.
So it is, and it's all part, like I would say, Alyssa, and you can, the who you are part, I mean, like it's written, right? Between their culture and the branding, like, and Josh Batcher did that logo, right? And so like that part, I'm not going to say it was easy, but it just like, you could just walk in that place and write the culture, right?
Yeah.
So we also have, the who you are part, which we kind of talked about, that there's lots of different audiences. And then we have how you help. And so that's looking at the party packages, but it's also like I feel like we talked about the candy walk. We talked about all of these things so tell me, like, by the time you got to how you tell the world, which is the part where we're actually like, how do we tell people? What was your mind, or what was your thought process and kind of creativity on how to outline all of these things?
One thing I really wanted to focus on with the what inspired me was your story and the way that you described it to me. I think that behind any business or anything you do, the story behind it matters more than really anything, because it shows that you have a purpose, you have an end goal with what you're doing. And like your business, like everything that you told me about your childhood, like who you grew up with, the people you're surrounded with, and how you wanted to make them feel special just as you felt special since you were the only child. And like that's how I was too when growing up. So like, I always felt special on my birthdays or on holidays. So like I wanted to be able to do that for other people. You can ask anybody, at least like for me, I love planning events. I love helping other people out like you did as well. So I kind of really focused on that when I was talking about how you tell the world, because I think it's important for any customer or anybody that's shopping your store to know that you really do have value behind what you're doing and you have a purpose behind it. Like you truly do have a deep love and passion to make other people feel special at walking in the store. You're not just saying that. So like, I feel like that's what really inspired me when talking about how you tell the world, is to show that this origin story behind it and show where this all came from and why it truly means something to you and why you're not just saying it because, you know, some businesses just say that, and how it actually does have a special meaning in your heart. So that's something that I really like to focus on when it comes to your business.
Yeah. In a marketing situation here, we are selling to the mom, but it is the feeling they want to give to their child that we're trying to pull out. And that's hard to do in some marketing because it's words and it's, you know what I mean?
It is. It's hard. Yeah.
So we are going to be working on, a website, and which is very, very important, but it's also important now to show up in something like ChatGPT when someone says, where should I plan my birthday party? So we've got to build that into, but then you're also going to be working on a custom GPT for Kim to use, which will have the marketing machine baked in. Kim, what else are you from a marketing, anything she covered or just, you know, that you need to do that from a marketing perspective that you're excited about?
Well, one thing I wanted to piggyback on what you just said was over the holidays, we actually had a couple come in, and I think because I have my chamber brain operating, I have a notepad right by the cash register that I've been logging where people are from when they come in, and I just put a tally. I ask everybody. This came to me years ago from Campione's, which is a restaurant here in Gallatin. They used to have a little, like, you know, like a ding, like first ring for service kind of bell at the cash register. And there was a few people in front of me and they would ask them something and then they'd ring the bell, and finally got up there, and Rob, the original owner, I would say, Rob, what are you doing? He was like, well, every day I get a Post-it out and I ask people if they've ever been here before. And if they say they haven't, then I ring the bell. And then I put a tally down and I was like, wow. And so something so simple about tracking and logging. And so I've been logging just so we can see like where people are coming from, what zip codes we might want to target when we advertise. And it's been really interesting. We've had a lot of folks from Wilson County. We've had folks from Franklin.
Wow.
So places that you wouldn't think people would be coming to Gallatin for the day. And so sometimes I ask them if we're not real busy and I'm not like feeling invasive and weird and be like, oh, and by the way, why are you here? And so I asked a couple one day, I said, why did y'all come to Gallatin? They were like, well, we decided that we would plug into ChatGPT today. What should we do within X number of minutes from their hotel or wherever? And it said we should visit downtown Gallatin. And so that to me, like it really resonated in everything we're doing and so much of what you're working on and what information we're sharing with AI and how we're using prompts. And so I thought that was really interesting. And so I was like, oh, well, thank you, ChatGPT.
Well, and I'll tell you what we're finding is YouTube transcripts are really working. So this will be on YouTube. Because, you know, if you look at the algorithm and the site authority for like your site's not even up yet. So it's going to be harder to rank, right? But YouTube is it's like the number one search engine, so outside of Google. So, you know, if we can have a transcript that mentions Kimfetti on there, then it's going to get, it's going to get indexed far quicker. So it's just really neat to see how things are kind of working together right now.
So one other thing that came to me after we were talking about Anlin earlier, which I think this just goes back to the importance of a brand and like setting it early on and then utilizing it and you know, even if it's different variations of it over time. So Kimfetti started years ago. And so it didn't officially start. It was just a real kind of low key operation, but I did have business cards and they said Kimfetti. It looked a little different. The eye actually had the confetti coming out of it and it sprinkled over and it was a dated font from like the early 2000s. So long ago. And so I still have these business cards and I've kept them all these years. Cause I mean, like, I don't know, you don't throw it away. Well, as we were kind of getting ready to open, and I think so many businesses go through this, they're like, can I do this? What have I done? Like, why am I doing this? Is this the craziest idea ever? I think Anlin was starting to sense that. And she knew that we had these confetti cards because she found them. They're in a drawer where I keep like stationery at the house and Post-its and things like that. So we wake up one morning and Anlin had taken these cards and she had taped them all over the house. There was one on the chandelier that hangs over our dining room table. There was one.
She crawl on top of the dining room table?
No, like this is over our kitchen table. So it's like a higher table. So I bet she got on a stool and then leaned up there. So it's a round table, whatever. And then there was one on the coffee pot. She put one on the fridge. She put one in the middle of the kitchen, like, which is probably our highest traffic area in the house. Put one on our mirror. And when we woke up, I was like, what are these? And she was like, I just thought we needed to think of Kimfetti. Oh. And we still have the one taped to our floor because she taped it pretty good. But it's also like, it's just a reminder. And so I was like, we're just going to leave it there. But we had friends over the holidays and it was a talking point. And it was just a good reminder, like keeping your brand in front of people, even if it's taped to your kitchen floor, is just a, way to keep your eye on the prize, but also just keeping it in front of people. And so I really appreciate being able to work with you all on that because you've helped me think of ways that I probably wouldn't have thought of to tap in. And I think the value and what you bring to the table, Kathryn, by incorporating high school students in, because it's probably a market that most businesses don't consider depending on who their demographic is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
One more question for Alyssa, and that's on, we've talked a little bit about AI, but what have you learned? Because that's been the past 2 years I've really wanted to make sure students learn AI, but specifically how they can use it in business. So tell me what you've learned.
Well, at the very beginning, obviously, every high school student uses ChatGPT now. Unfortunately, maybe I shouldn't be saying that, but they do. And
as they should.
Yeah. But at the very beginning, all you think of it as is just asking simple questions, just about random things. But I feel like through this whole internship, I really figured out how to utilize it. I had no clue what GPTs were at the time. I didn't know you can make different projects in ChatGPT. I didn't know that you could really, truly utilize ChatGPT by incorporating different files. So it has some background information about what you're looking up. Like, I used to take an AP research class and it would have done wonders for me back then to be able to have used ChatGPT in that way. And also you taught me some other different search engines or like AI engines, like such as Notebook LM, and being able to incorporate different sources so it can truly so it brings out the most of what that AI engine can do. Cause I think at the very beginning, I just asked questions and trusted that it knew what it was doing. But realistically, like AI isn't perfect despite what people want to think. So like there's a lot of things it would give me that was wrong. But now I have this knowledge where I can incorporate these different sources, or I can give it some different things where it gathers different types of knowledge. So it can give me a full answer that I actually truly need. And I feel like I've also learned how to use it as a support instead of just a way to cheat. That sounds kind of bad, but I think a lot of high school students at the very beginning, you just think of it as, oh, this will just give me the answer, easy, done. But now I actually realize like it can bring out and support me and like help me in different things I'm doing instead of just using it as a way to cheat. Cause obviously like we still need humans to be able to come up with their own ideas and their own creativity. Like humans created AI, but I think that it's important to use it as a support thing instead of just letting it do whatever you want for it. You know
it can amplify our good ideas.
100%. Yes, that's the best way to word it. Yeah.
It's there it can amplify what we're already doing. And then it can also take away stuff that we don't want to do. But
for sure. Yeah.
But that's a really good way to put it. So thank you.
Thank you.
I have been very, very impressed with you. I mean, like I said, you had not done something like this before. Yeah. I feel like you have grown as a person a lot. More than the other three because they have had that experience, but you came in a little nervous on every little thing. And so it's been really fun to see you grow.
Thank you.
I think Liberty Creek should be very excited that you were their first intern. Anything you want to add on Alyssa's?
I mean, first of all, perfect match. I mean, when the couple times she's come in the store, she like matches the energy. And I'm like, yes, this is what we want. Look, people come in just touching things, be like, I love this. It's great. And just bringing that energy and really the passion to a project like this, keep that.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that passion is really powerful and it really is. So carry that with you in whatever you do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So I have asked the other interns what happens next and you are still looking at all of those options, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is marketing part of this at all, do you think?
I think like going back to what I said at the very beginning,
Entrepreneurship.
I think that it'll be a part of my life despite what I do. I think social media is just going to continue to grow despite like in every aspect of life. So even if I just work with a business or if I own my own business, which is my goal someday, hopefully you'll see me in 20 years being my own business owner and having a great business that's traveled across the nation. That's my ultimate goal.
Business?
I don't really know for sure yet. It really in anything, like I just can't pinpoint. That's what I struggle. But I have one of my best friend's dads. He owns 5 different businesses and he has like just a small workspace for one circle, not one circle. Wow.
You're good. It's good circle marketing.
Yeah,
We're getting confused.
But one certain business and it's an LED company, but I would go in, back when we were younger when he had to drive us everywhere, but I would go into his workspace and his office and just see the way his, employees worked with each other in the work environment. And I kind of just learned through that's what I want someday. He has such a stable business that encourages his employees to the point where it feels like a family. And then also just like that helps the world out and like just does things that you just wouldn't even expect. Like you wouldn't think an LED company, like of course there's LED companies, but he works in the Nissan Stadium. He works at Bridgestone. He's everywhere. And that's what I want. I want to be everywhere, even if it's subtle. I want to be everywhere, and I really want to encourage people I work with. But that's my main goal in life, is be my own business owner, even though I don't know what college I'm going to yet.
It's okay. You do not have to have it all figured out at all. Well, thank you both.
Yes, thank
I
you.
was so excited. The timing just worked out really well for this. But I can't wait to see all Kimfetti become.
It's gonna be so great. It's gonna be so awesome.
All right.
So excited. Thank you.
Thanks for being on.